Yeah. Welcome to the live stream. We're going live tonight. Welcome. We ready. I'm ready. Except we couldn't hang out in the classroom tonight because they ain't got no security in classroom. Okay. What we bring to the table tonight is hot. Is hot. Well, it's always hot, but it's hotter tonight because this. Challenging the judge, stopping their stuff and doing does well. The eviction. It's turned out to be a situation for some people, and the people that are following along and doing what the real time feedback from a bunch of people that have been putting up with some of us, some of them, some been punched in the face. And we're kind of tired of getting punched in the face. So we learned how to do some face punching. I said, wait, no. Skip that. I mean, you can punch them in the face if you want to. I like to make it slow. Okay, slow and make them suffer. Because, you've gone through a lot every day, waking up wondering if that's going to be the day. We ain't even gonna talk about the neighbors and your family, by the time you get in this unlawful situation that everybody thinks is lawful, okay, well, they already reported that shit on their websites. They already got that shit all of that rolling downhill already started. It started at the time we're going to take a commercial break. Okay, I'm just trying to. It started at the time your happy ass signed the stinking thing. When you sign, that's when it started. So what you're saying, coach, is everybody's shit's the same. Pretty much. And you know what? I used to do a check down and say, well, criminals, whatever. But you know what? Criminal statutes, federal criminal statutes, okay, because we already know that state statutes don't have enacting clauses, titles, or bodies. I got to get the right finger up because my granddaughter Jocelyn told me that I was using the finger in one of my videos. She's 13. She's the one that's on the cooking channel over there at Coach's Kitchen. Yeah, we got a cooking channel, and we're about to turn into Lily's show. Okay, but yeah, I told her I would think I was fanning myself. I wasn't using. Okay, but yeah, when we step up to the plate with what we need to make a change, things happen. The website's down there. No, I'm not saying they got anything to do with it. But it's not going to be down long. So we got to be working on that. But y'all know how I roll. I don't roll with limitations. So if you need something, call me. Call me, and I'll cash app you, or I'll send you the link, or the link to I'll send you on there, and then you just cash app me or whatever, or Zelle me or whatever, and I'll just email you over what you need. Okay, so now if you call me and I'm busy, I'm going to tell you, text me when we hang up, only your name and your email address, and I'm still going to require that you send me an email and in the subject put fire or something, because most people send me stuff, don't put nothing. They put that in the subject and I know. Okay, then that's a 2-step check when I get done answering the phone and running around, because it's been a little crazy around here with the situation with the website. But I'm willing to do whatever it takes. So that's what we're doing. And so for the people who have a problem or don't want to send me the money because the website's down, they can't see it, whatever, that's fine. You guys, you can check every day, because I'm not going to be, I have more people up here ready to go to when, then you guys just check. And when you feel safe, bam, jump in and we'll, see. Because we're up here going to be getting some stuff done. Now, this eviction situation. Now, we got Henry and they've been to Henry's house. I don't even know how many times, at least 4 or 5 times, maybe. And so the thing about this situation with Henry, and I'm really happy that Henry and I have, and this is the same relationship that I want to have with everybody that I work with or have a relationship I'm friends with, to let you be honest with me. If you're honest with me, then, I know a bunch of cracks and some stuff. If you're honest, if you're not, then you're just going to put in this program, whatever. And so Henry said, Coach, right now, I don't have the $400 to file in federal court. I said, all right. That's what I figured anyway, because he just invested in the $40 package that we got on there to jam up the judge, to stop the judge. You can use it. Everybody's stuff is the same. It don't matter, criminal, whatever, criminal, statutes aren't valid law. So bam, you just got checked down into the same, everybody's stuff. They're violating you with due process at the gate, like a whole bunch of different times. Oh, so yeah, we're learning how to address that. One of the things that we have learned that's really, and we're going to have in the workshop on the 28th, is that, and this is the document that we got on the website, $40, is to answer to any judge's ruling. Bam! To answer to any judge's ruling. Okay, so what we haven't been doing is we have to plead the substantive due process, which is the 42 USC and how they kick, all the stuff they did to us and all these, all the whats. Okay, but we also have to address the why, which is the procedural stuff. The procedural stuff you have to object to preserve for later, and bam. Okay, so basically we've been doing the same thing in one document, trying to address what they did and why they're doing it. Here's how they violated me, whatever. They ain't trying to hear that. They're not that smart. They ain't trying to hear that. They be like, oh, you're objecting on the decision, so go file your appeal. Oh, they want you to go file an appeal because you don't have shit to appeal. You don't have what you need to appeal. They do not provide a finding of facts and a conclusion of law, which is what you need to file any kind of an appeal. Without that, you got cagada. You got crap. That's what you got. You know what? And when you're in court, y'all can try this if you think I don't know. You tell them, you know what? I'm going to sue you. They tell, well, you know what? Go get your attorney, whatever. You might as well just file you in oh, what? I can file an appeal? Yep. Oh, come over and sit down. With the paperwork out for you. We'll help you out with that. Okay, so back to what we're doing for Henry. In addition to that, because y'all know I ain't going to tell you with the same stuff all the time. I'm not. You can't roll without limitations if you go through tell you with the same shit all the time. We ain't going to tell you with the same stuff. No. Mm-mm. You guys forget that their whole program started in the toilet. I'm just saying, started in the toilet. It's not judicial. They're making you think it is. It's just fraudulent concealment, but it's not. It's not connected to the Constitution. If it was, they'd have to follow. It's not connected to the Constitution. That's why I have to follow it. Okay, so they have trained us, y'all, yes, all. That almost worked out, didn't it? They trained us to believe you have rights. I got rights. What the hell? You gotta be kidding me. I got rights. People can't be doing that. So that's the what. You argue about about the what, and then when you get done arguing about the what, you haven't touched on the why. And then the arguing starts, and the buddy judge. Okay, so let's just come on, coach. You're stalling. All right, so I already told you we ain't trying to do nothing in state court. So everybody knows we ain't doing nothing in state court. If you don't understand that we're not litigating anything in state court, I don't know what to tell you. Okay? We don't litigate anything in the state court. We crush them with the documents right at the gate. We crush them with the documents because, number one, we use federal case law and everything that we make, that you get from federal case law and federal acts. The federal acts are the federal criminal. That's how we bring the criminal liability to the table for them. That's what we use. Federal case law. They can't respond to that with statutes and codes. Bam. No. State court players cannot respond to federal case law and federal acts with statutes and codes. It's automatic rap. They cannot respond to anything that you file that you've given me if you know what the hell you're doing. They can't. Okay. We'll just go for, okay, maybe they figured out a way to get around that. Well, you know what? Still got a problem. They can't respond because you can't use statutes and codes to respond to higher case laws. Statutes and codes are non-valid laws. They don't have enacting clauses, titles, or bodies. They're non-valid laws that I have to follow. And you can't respond to the Constitution with crap. That's pretty much it. Okay, but there's another problem. The state players still can't respond. Even if they could figure out a way to get around that, they can't respond still. Because we teach you how to add the state, the government, the federal, it don't matter who it is. That's why we're in the situation room right now, because they get how to add them, the judge who's getting paid by the state, you add them, and then the attorney or snitch, whoever about this, you add them to your counterclaim. Oh, I know. Coach, they're gonna say statute of limitations. You know what? All right. So jam them up in the counterclaim for fraudulent concealment, which is what we use in front of everything anyway. It's a federal legal doctrine that tolls the statute of limitations. Bam! So you can bring this stuff anytime. Oh. Yeah. We ain't playing. So you file your counterclaim in their case without paying filing fees, without having to serve them. I just email the shit to them like a regular, without any of that. And what happens next? Well, I wonder why attorneys don't tell you this. What happens next? Well, when you add them to their own action, and somebody can comment in the section down there, because I may not have this right, okay? Because they've been saying my stuff is stupid and I'm a sovereign, whatever the hell. I know they call me some other I know they call me some other names too, but that's all right. I'm taking them with respect. Because if y'all ass ain't pissed off, we ain't kicking y'all's butt. Okay, so what we learn how to do now, or what we're going to do in Henry's case, this is going to be, I hate to say the first time, but people always ask me, "Oh, coach, how many wins, whatever." No, this is first time. What we're going to do, we got this puppy dog right here. We're going to take a commercial break. Ow. The lower court that does the eviction and all of that stuff, they don't have jurisdiction to do any of this shit. I'm just saying, they don't. The lower court doesn't. Okay, most people think, coach, you're talking about municipal court, JD court, whatever. I'm talking about any state court. Any state court does not have judicial authority to make any rulings on anybody's property. Now, I'm about to get worked up, but I'm gonna, you know what? I got. Come on, coach, you got this. Any attorney that wants to come on the show, we won't meet in here. Because I think y'all gonna be mad with it. Okay, we'll meet in the ring or something and explain. No state court has authority to rule on anybody's property, whether it's divorce property, whether it's property seized in foreclosure. Statutes and codes are non-violent laws. They don't have an acting clause, titles, or bodies, right? So the statute that they use to foreclose on you is total bullshit, but they do it all the time because people don't get what they need to. Divorce case, no. All of that crap is done because you agree. Either do acquiescence, because your ass didn't say hell no. I don't care if y'all haul my ass to jail. I said hell no. Or because you signed. Now, I'm not laughing at nobody or talking shit to nobody because I didn't get here because I did. Okay. You know what? You signed. Anybody been hauled to jail? Rest here. Put your clothes in this basket. Sign right here. Bend over. Sign right here. Put your shoes. Sign right here. I don't know. For all of the people on the state court level, they didn't have jurisdiction to do anything unless you hurt somebody or damage somebody's property. Keep it level right there, connected to the Constitution and the statutes at large, which is where the rules and laws or whatever we're supposed to be following, whatever. Okay, so let's just get back to this. So now we're going to we're going to file the 2-document thingy that's for $40 on the website. The website's down right now because some shit happened to it, and we're working on that. Okay, I ain't even want to hear nothing about it because I ain't got time to be freaking around and running around and what looking behind me. I got people working on that. That's the best I can do. That's how I roll. You got to roll that way, coach. Otherwise, I have gray hair. More. Okay, damn it. I shouldn't have went there. Anyway, so tonight we're going to talk about what I'm talking about, and then we can talk about what other people want to talk about later. Otherwise, we'll just be talking about little bits and pieces of stuff for people who don't understand. So we'll get that. Right now, if you listen up, you might learn. Okay, so in Henry's case, we're going to, we already filed a bunch of stuff they ignored, and I have people telling me this all the time, and we're going to take a file stamp, which is what we did in a file stamp copy, certified copy of all of the stuff from the docket sheet, the whole entire docket sheet, over the federal court, because that's really where you're going. The only thing we're doing here is punching them to punch them, to get them to stop them, slow them down. Okay, so now we're going to, and this, we have several ways of stopping the state court process. And the first way we were stopping them was by moving the case over to federal court. And that only worked for people who are assholes or people who have been to jail and wasn't scared of going to jail again. So we had to, okay, so then, we started rushing over to federal court and coming back with federal court with like a notice, a judicial notice or something to show whatever. And then we figured out how to stop them with federal case law. That's all I use anyway. I mean, it's all you, because I don't know when people start asking me these rules and shit for stuff. I don't know none of that shit. It's worthless. It's absolutely worthless. And when you use it, you hem your ass in a corner with limitations, and you can't roll with me like that, because we'll have too many problems. I'm just saying, we'll have too many problems. I have problems already with some people who communicate with me, but let me think how. But have trouble maintaining looking forward. Now, I'm not talking about the people that are dealing with the fear. That's not what I'm talking about, because I have that too. That's why I do what I do without limitations. So I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about the people that say they've done everything, but the state court's still in control, and the federal courts pause and they're not doing nothing. Now, I've been doing this a long time. I got a degree in communications. The words mean more to me than, and this is why sometimes when I talk to people, I start having a little bit of attitude, like, you haven't even got to the end of the sentence. Well, I already know where you're going. No offense. Okay, but already know where you're going. And in this case, when people tell me I done everything, okay, let's just go through some stuff. Did you do this? Did you do that? Whatever. Okay, well, you know what? I don't even have to go through the stuff, because in the beginning of the conversation, the words that's explained to me let me know exactly what the problem was. And in this case, the problem was that person felt like the case needed to be adjudicated and stopped in the state court, in the UD court. Okay, no offense. Okay, I'm trying not to. Okay, people get in the program, they pay and whatever. They don't do the homework enough to understand. Or maybe he did, but he still didn't understand. I don't know. For me, if I tell you, okay, look, this is what we need to do. Okay, I'm not going to spend I'm going to try not to spend a whole lot of time on the negative stuff or what you did wrong or whatever, because that's looking backwards and that ain't helping nobody. Okay, I'm here to coach you. So I'm going to tell you, okay, this is what I would do based on the 20, 30-minute conversation. Now, this whole program is set up to jumpstart your thinking so you can be figuring some stuff out. So if you tell them you got 9 documents and all this stuff filed over here, whatever. Okay, so here's the thing. The thing is, in the words that you use to get to halfway to where we were, maybe less or maybe more, in those words, they let me know that you feel like it needs to be adjudicated over there to be stopped. Okay, so the problem is, in the UD court, it's a lesser court than the other state court that's also administrative court. So this is administrative check down court, that's a less of a court. Municipal court? Okay, coach, you ain't making no sense. Oh, shit, you think I'm not making sense? I sued their ass in 2017 for 3 $10 seatbelt tickets, and I had to move that. That's how I did and I can't talk about that anymore. Okay. But what I can tell you is that municipal court gets its alleged judicial authority from the city ordinance. Look that shit up in your state court clerk's manual. That's where I looked. That's where I went. It's all right there. It's a little bit of jumbo crap mixed in there to try to, but there's no way they don't have jurisdiction to do crap. Oh. But, number one, we didn't realize that we need to do the substantive and the due process on separate documents to control them so they can't hide behind that shit. That's number one. Okay, so and we're having the workshop on the 28th for that. Y'all see, I think it's 175 as soon as my team gets the website back up and it ain't there. So we're going to be back rolling. If you want to get in the workshop, call me. I'll text you the cash out thing, and you can do that thing. I'll get your information that I need and write it down so you can have it, because you're gonna have to call me anyway. Even if the website is up after you pay and make your investment, you're still gonna have to call me to secure your seat in the training. And I'm going to teach you guys how to make this 2-document thing that we got. Now, I'm hoping you guys make your own document, because I'm hoping to have the information in like the last time, the video in there a few days ahead of time, so that you guys can take it, can watch it. It's going to be in the workshop information center page when the website gets back up. So, and then you guys can make your own document, and then if you want, you can email it to me, and let me know your name, because sometimes people use their emails. I had one person send me an email, said Black Bitch something. I don't know. Okay, so make sure I know who you are. And so my goal is to review 4 or 5 of them and pick out like the best one and then the worst one. And then we're going to review them, why it's the best one and why it's the worst one. And the 2 people that we pick out will get the same prize. And they won't really know. I mean, of course, well, actually, no one's really going to know unless they tell each other or something later. But I want to have an atmosphere where people can feel comfortable and take a chance, because that's what this is all about. I have people get mad at me when I'm telling them, look, the words that you're saying are telling me that you think it needs to stay over there. No, coach, you're arguing with me. No, I'm not arguing with you. I'm letting you know, if I was them and you said what you said or anywhere close like this, and sometimes these words that people say, and I'm just gonna, are part of the words that you're thinking in your head that shouldn't come out, because they let people know where you're at. And sometimes you don't even realize that you're saying them. Now, these people are trained. They can smell your fear when you walk out your house. I don't care how far away you live from the courthouse. And when you come in, if your head's not in the right place, then they're going to act on that. I don't care if you add the lender to your paperwork you get from me. That's fire as hell. They're going to ignore and keep on moving forward, because they think you believe their crap. So when I'm telling you what I'm telling you, it's because I'm a coach. I care. We can be best friends. When it comes down to my job, this is a wrap. Okay, I had a person at one point, I got fired. That's the first time I got fired, because I wouldn't lay down and take a dive. I box. I never had to count the lights unless I was up there replacing the freaking bulbs. Okay, no. It was something weird going on over there with that, and then so no. Now, I don't do weird and I don't do drama. Okay, so right now, this is where we're at. And I don't have this on the website either yet. But if you need it, you can call me. And if you call me, I know you watch this stream, and I'll hook you up for $25. $25. Lily's figuring out how to just relax when I'm getting excited over here. $25. Demand to dismiss for lack of subject matter jurisdiction and demand to remove and transfer to federal district court. Okay, now, I would ask why we're doing that. The number one answer would be because the state court don't have any judicial authority to be making any rulings on any private property, period. That's it. They don't. They operate with statutes and codes, right? Not valid laws. The judge is being paid by the state. The state is the one that's stealing your property, stole your property, the state stole, okay, we're done now. The state, remember, at the gate, you sat down and signed. The alleged, there was no bank. The bank didn't sign shit. You were the only one that signed when you sat down. And then after you left, somebody from the bank signed, stamp, paid to the order of, whatever, without recourse or whatever, and they signed. Or maybe Linda Green, Robo, something, yeah. And then they processed that through the Federal Reserve for electronic credits. Okay? That I'm old. I've done. They process it through the Federal Reserve for electronic credits. That's what they're saying was the mortgage. It was actually generated with your signature. They process it for electronic credits. And Modern Money Mechanics is a publication put out by these dudes that know way more about the fracking banking system. I said fracking. I'm talking to my grandkids, okay? Than I do. Modern Money Mechanics said that they're granted 9 times the amount that went into a demand deposit account. Now, I got a friend, Dr. Arthur, okay, who buys these things from as securities before they get wherever they come from to the alleged bank backed. I don't know. And he said they get paid 22 times. I'm like, not times 9. I do, Jeffrey. I can't keep up. 22 times. Okay, wait a minute. And then, they're trying to take it back from you. They took it back from the last people. And then they claimed it on their taxes, wrote it off the insurance, and then some kind of way put it back in the. Okay, so they registered your deed in their office. The state law now, we're not subject to follow them, but they are. They're the ones supposed to follow these statutes and codes to make it fair for us. State law for property transfer, and every state, check your state if you don't think I know what I'm talking about, says that your property deed is supposed to be delivered to you, and it's not conveyed, yada, 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 a bunch of white people words and stuff now, until it's delivered. But that's not what they did. What they did was they registered and they did what they call a constructive delivery. Now, what's that mean, Coach? Yeah, I looked that shit up. I said that shit for a long time, but one day I looked it up. What constructive delivery means is after it gets registered, we ain't going to talk about what it was before it was registered. Oh, hell no. Nobody's ever to talk about that ever again. What the hell was it before it was registered? Coach, help me. Come on now. Y'all, keep up. Before it was registered, it was your private property. But the Constitution says not once, but in 2 different places that private property is not to be taxed. So they have to reclassify your property as a residential, commercial, or agricultural. Now, Lawrence, Kansas wrote me a letter and said they have 13 classifications. I said, Lord have mercy. I didn't even want to know what. They reclassified. Okay, that's not the problem, though. That's not the first. That's not the problem primero. Okay, because the first problem was the fact that they registered it allowed the first illegal lien to be put on your property. Now, I played football in college and 80. I boxed a whole bunch of this karate shit. I know. I'm not that. Those are things not smart people do. So I just have to keep it simple. They registered your property, and so the first illegal lien was the mortgage lien. I ain't gonna take a commercial break. It was the mortgage lien. I know. I'm talking crazy. They told me I was crazy. They made me take mill evaluations for 33 months, shipping me all over the place where I learned all of this stuff. Okay. Let me finish. Because I like to, people get mad at me because it's the way I roll. But until you feel it and see it in your head, we ain't done nothing. There's no value for the both of us. Okay? So look at it this way. If there were several people who own property, all of those people would have to be present to sign that stinking lien, right? Mm-hmm. So the alleged lender who didn't sign shit, there was all these people that was representing said, ain't none of them said they was a lender. The lender didn't sign nothing. Okay, so the fact that they accepted the signatures from the homeowners proves that the homeowner owned that property, and I smell stink. Or somebody else would have to be there to sign. Now, how does that work? Because, back before they took gold and silver, all our debts are supposed to be paid and all that shit. And, that gets way more complicated, people. So let's just stay right here. Bam. They registered your deed, and now they have total control of. No. People thought, dude, my deed's in an LLC. It's locked up. No, dude, you got a copy of that shit. And I guarantee you, once they turn into a security and did all that creepy, and then they made a copy of it, and they sent your ass a copy. Now, I did that, made a copy of it to security, and sent it to them to make them think they are owning their shit. They be knocking on the door. I can't knock on the door because my dog gets sick. It's a little round up. She's knocking. Oh, they be knocking on the door. Oh, but it's okay for them. It's called real estate deed fraud. And the property tax package has that lawsuit in it. There's 3 lawsuits in the property tax lawsuit package. Because I just got tired of people asking me. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's criminal. It doesn't matter if it's property tax. It don't matter if it's freaking traffic tickets. It's all the same to violating your due process. Some is worse than others because they want to send you to jail. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're going to transfer. Now, when I did this, I transferred my case that I paid for over to federal court because we're suing the judge, and they know whatever, and they knew me in federal court. They didn't want to be there. So, okay, but now in Henry's case, we're going to move their case over to federal court because it don't matter who paid for it if the case is paid for over here, because that was the basis of me moving mine. Already paid over here, and they jacked it up. So why should I have to pay again? Y'all gonna jack it up? I asked. I know people telling me I'm too direct. Well, I don't like being in the back of the line. I don't even like being nowhere close to a line. I don't, because those people on the line are the ones that aren't willing to do whatever it takes. They aren't willing to do whatever it takes. And it's funny how you get trained. When my kids were little, I coached bitty basketball. And they gave me like 2 kids from all these different schools. They didn't know each other, whatever. And then, they were like in the 4th grade. So what we did was we just set up our offense to be a runner. And we just had everybody line up. And the person bringing the ball, wasn't always the guy, the person bringing the ball slapped the ball, and then the designated runner would take off. And we already knew who's first runner, who's second runner, whatever. The runner would take off, and then it just heaved the ball down there. Oh, you have no idea how many layups we got. We got layups all day long because those parents taught those kids to do the stand there at the end thing and guard the stuff. They taught them how to run the plays that they ran in college. But kids don't have enough depth deception to get all. So they were all standing there with their hands up, ready to run the play when our people were already taking off. Well, one person, and then we got all these layups, and the parents were like, "What the hell?" I'm like, dude, why should we have to? Okay, so the other side of this is I told the kids, if you enjoy doing this, then we have to do layups from both sides, layups down the middle, and we have to do a bunch of running because you can't have runners and be running if you're not in shape. So them kids was running. 2, 3 games, some dads was figuring it out. So they was telling their kids, run back. So we just had like 2 more kids run back with the runner. So only 2 kids ran back. Oh, yeah. So that's us, that's what we're doing here. Now we're just gonna and what I need to add to this is the fraudulent concealment, which I don't have on here. Our fraudulent concealment should be added to everything in the front at the gate. Fraudulent concealment. It's a legal doctrine. It tolls the statute of limitations. Shuts it down. Okay, so we filed a judicial notice in Henry's case. That Henry's case was the one that we came up with it. It was a regular. We filed the judicial notice of fraudulent conveyance, and we just used the notice. We just moved it down and turned the top part into like a regular document with the case number and the party, whatever. And we just filed it right in the case. They can't do a damn thing about it. Cannot stop it. It's a wrap. And then we followed it up with the less pendants the next day. You don't want to file them both on the same day because they'll figure out. Most of the places don't know what fraudulent conveyance is. Fraudulent conveyance is also a federal law. You're claiming your property being stolen with the shuffling of paperwork. That's badass because now you ain't got to explain all of that shit. They're doing some shit with the paper. And when you file these 2 documents, it moves your ass up to the number 1 lien spot. Bam, right on top. You're challenging the mortgage that is being fraudulently conveyed. Not after the signing. No, there's no after. I don't think they'd ask if it was after that they were talking about. But if they did, I don't think they would. I would be laughing way too hard. Okay? Because if you want to deal with these fools, you got to do what they don't want you to do. I know. I got punched in the face. You got to do what they don't want you to do. Because they so good at helping you. People get freaked out because, I don't know if I can do it. Okay, dude, their crap starts in the middle of the cesspool. Okay, I don't care what they do. They can't clean it up. They can't. They can't clean it up. Supplemental pleading, you can learn how to do a supplemental pleading if you go to the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure and look up filing an amendment. Supplemental pleading, down below, filing an amendment and kissing their butt, which I never do with that shit anyway. I just did what I did anyway, and let them whine and made the judge tell me. And supplemental pleading, you can add, you can change your stuff, adjust it, whatever, as long as you add a party, add account, or both, and is connected to the original reason why you're there. And they can't do nothing about it. They can't do a damn thing about it. Supplemental pleading. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, when I was telling everybody to put that judicial notice in the case to slow them down, jam them up, I had a few people telling me, "Oh, coach, you didn't stop nothing. You don't know what you're talking about, or whatever." You know. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Number one, I ain't offering nobody no guarantees on shit. Number two, we got a whole bunch of video reviews and a whole bunch of people are still doing what they need to be doing, where they need to be doing it. That ain't, whatever. So I ain't got time for that. Okay, I don't have time for that. And what we're doing here is revolutionary, based off the real-time feedback. Okay, so I don't have, now we can come up with a strategy or some kind of something, but come on now. If I had it all worked out like that, none of us would be struggling. So I think some people need to have a different attitude. They need to have a different attitude. Okay, I don't care about being wrong. I mean, I'm talking shit or whatever. If I'm wrong, I'm about to learn something. I didn't get to where I'm at now because I cared about being wrong. I don't. But I don't have time to listen to a bunch of crap that I know. But I don't care about being wrong. It doesn't bother me to be wrong. Because if you're not jacking up something, you ain't doing, but you know what? If you don't allow yourself to be in a position to fail, then you're just going to be over there having a hard time stressing out. You're going to be stressing out, and you're not going to get shit done. Now, in this system, you can adjust and change anything. I don't care what they told you or what you learned. All of that shit that you learned before you got here need to be chunked down the street. Okay, because you can't use it. You can't connect your stuff to what we're doing. You can't use none of that stuff. The whole mindset needs to be different. If your mindset is not in the right place, when you communicate with them on the phone, in the Zoom hearing, to the clerk when you file your stuff, they will pick your ass apart. And you wonder why the state courts told the federal court they still have jurisdiction, sit on your shit over there. Now, people get mad when I'm picking at them, okay? And I don't really call it picking at them. I just go through scenarios that I've learned from the real-time feedback, because I can't sit here and tell you exactly what it was, especially if you're so defensive that you don't even want to hear what I'm thinking it could be. I'm thinking if I get your head to start clicking, maybe at the end of the conversation or somewhere along the way, it'll click in your head what you need to change or whatever. That's kind of how. And I don't, I have a lot of empathy. And, when I work with kids, it works out great. One of my rules was, I don't like to make decisions when I'm grumpy. Now, that doesn't really work well in your marriage. I think that's why I was married for 42. But, we have the rules for a reason. Now, the judicial notice, if everybody filed it, the court is supposed to take notice of that. I have the judicial notice lawsuit package on, and that's what we're using here. The judicial notice. So now we are objecting to their failure to take judicial notice of the fraudulent conveyance And we're objecting to the failure to recognize the less pending lien that we filed in the case. Oh, now that $25 document all of a sudden is bringing a little spark to the fire, a little gasoline. Okay, remember, they're in administrative court jacking you over. And when you tell them that, they just laugh. But they're trying to use the administrative rules to jack you over. So we laughing. So when they ignored your judicial notice, they violated your due process. This whole thing is about reversing their shit or using it against them. You ain't gonna get nowhere trying to stop the UD court in UD court. No, we do that by filing your counterclaim in UD court and then filing your lawsuit in federal court. And then you take a complete docket sheet, copy of the docket sheet, and then the stuff that you filed, and then your evidence, your exhibits, to show that court don't have jurisdiction, and you use that as evidence in your federal filing to verify the why they were able to violate, not what they did. Because everybody thinks you have rights. You got the right to shut the hell up. You got the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. That's what they told me all those times. Now, don't get it wrong. I ain't never been convicted of crap, and I ain't never took the deal. So when you say that, you better throw the other part right on the table too. Bam. Okay, so Henry done all that. So now I emailed this out to them yesterday, so I know they were happy to read my words in the email. And I told them, for the white people that are privileged, or the black people, or the Mexicans, it don't matter. For the privileged ass people that don't like the words in my email, they can read the letter that's attached to it. And this is the fire. Remember, we had to split them up. Still having them both on one. This is a supplemental pleading substantive due process violation. We just need to put like 20 billion on there or something. Now, I forgot about this. Oh, and then we'll see everybody that's here tonight, because I'll be at the. Now, for the people who don't know that I'm totally out of control, and I love my job. Oh, this might reiterate that. Okay, so we got this other document that Henry's going to be filing, and I don't even think that he knows about it yet. But him and I both on it. We both on it. Oh, Coach, you're talking crazy. Oh, hell no. No, they're telling me to take a commercial break. No. Oh, right there. Right there. I'm totally out of control. I stay in real good shape for it. Bam. Any attorneys want to come and, come on down, just give me a call and come on down. So this puppy dog right here is the $2 million supplemental pleading, because we can file a whole bunch of lawsuits now. We can file a supplemental pleading to the same shit. You got what? They ain't nowhere said I can't do that. They're kind of busy anyway, because they can't answer. Remember, Oh, I love my job. Okay, so, and I ain't trying to go to the table with the same shit. All right? We ain't taking the same stuff. Okay? Because only boring people. We don't roll with limitations. Okay, so $2 million supplemental pleading for defamation, fraudulent concealment, professional defamation, fraudulent concealment, and due process violation under 1983. Oh, defamation, coach? Well, yeah. Now I'm just gonna go because for the people who do it took me a minute because I know what y'all thinking. How you gonna pull that off with you and Henry on the same? Okay, it's all the same. Remember? Come on now. We're not doing a check down or changing nothing, especially when we popping that. We're just being creative. Okay, so why? Come on now, y'all. If I need to go to a commercial break, no, we ain't got no. I worked out. We ain't got time to be stopping. I'll stop when I start sweating. Defamation. Okay, so for Henry, he was defamed when all of the stuff they did to him. They reported that he was he was in default and that he was all this stuff, and they even tried to throw him out. They defamed him by going after him with statute and codes aren't valid laws, and they pretty much now into it. Violated his due process. Okay, so what about me, Coach House? Okay, so they professionally defamed me when they threw out his shit. They didn't even listen to it. They didn't even rule on it. They didn't provide a finding of facts and a conclusions of law. Just tossed his shit out and told him to go pack his shit. So basically saying my stuff's trash. I wonder what they're saying now. I wonder what they're saying now. So if you follow my stuff and you need to have this, I don't know. I haven't decided what, But I signed it. I signed it for Henry, and now he got to do is just sign his little thing on there, and that's a wrap. I signed it. Him and I are going in on that. If they want to do this shit, then this is how we're going to do it. And I'm hoping that I'll be doing this to anybody that want to dismiss my shit. I'll just send this shit. I know. Can you do that? No, I think it can. They're kind of mad. They follow me around sometime. They can follow me around all they want to. Come on, guys. Actually, I'll just text you because I only go a couple of places. So to the gym, to eat dinner, to go shopping for. Oh wait, I took my dog Lily. We went shopping at the dog store, and she kept trying to get stuff, and so I told her no. Y'all know how it goes. We get to the line, she come with this big old thing this long like that, and she's turning it out. She just went over. Okay, we was there, and we're standing there, and then she walked off for a second, came back with, and I'm like, dude, I just act like I didn't know her. I think she was shoplifting. Yeah, and the lady at the checkout looked at me and looked at her. I said, she ain't with me. And by the time I said that, she started, okay, maybe she is here. I'll buy it for her. Yeah. It was a big old chew toy. Yeah, she's having a good time. So that's what we got going on right now. We got these 3 documents that we were sending. That I told Henry that we were sending, and then I made this other one because I'm just out of control. And I'm sick of these people lying. Lying, telling everybody my stuff's trash. Okay, but when you whip it out on their ass, they're having a meltdown. They're running around back there in the back, come back with the the supervisor or whatever, trying to come up with all that. So I don't know. They're gonna toss my shit. I got a lot of work. I got a lot of work over here. So I know. I think me and Henry can come up with. We're going in for $2 million. Yeah. So we can probably negotiate a little off of that. So I don't know. You stop the foreclosure by filing the counterclaim and the lawsuit package that you get from winning court now when we get it back up. But before you file the counterclaim, you add the parties to it. You add the state to it. You add the judge to it because the judge is getting paid by the state. And you add the attorney, whoever set that up, add the attorney to it because the attorney they all are bar members working together in a scheme that they started to do this. And I say that because have you ever looked at the registration? There's a city registration department that where your deeds and all start at, and once it gets registered in that corporation, it goes out to the land bank, the Register of Deeds Association. The Register of Deeds Association. Now, some states it's a little bit twisted, and then it goes out to the land bank. And when it gets in, you register in the land bank and all this other stuff, then people overseas can bid on you. Everybody can see your property, what's going on with it when you let them. Back in the day before they started all this crap, people kept the deeds in their Bible, in their firebox, in their gun safe, under the mattress with the money outside in the yard and buried in. And they didn't have to have it registered. And people say, we need to register to make sure. No, you register it so they can all control it. Once it's registered, now they do that funky shit and do all, Okay, back in the day, if someone showed up at my house and said that I was on there, I didn't whip out your shit. Let me take a look at your deed. Okay, if it's not dated and signed, dated and notarized prior to mine, then it's a wrap. No, dude, that ain't the right date. I think you need to hop your ass online. No, it didn't need to be all that. People don't realize that once they get your deed registered in the office, the state uses your stinking property for collateral, for loans from the federal government, and all kind of different stuff. People don't realize that there's already a lien. There's another lien put on your property in addition to the first illegal lien that they used to. Okay, we don't want to go down that hole. So it's more a matter of stopping the court process, truth and peace. It's stopping the court process. It don't matter what it is, because it's all the same. They're violating your due process with shit that ain't real, lies, all of that. That's what's going on. It's more stopping the court process. And you do that by suing the people that's doing it. It's just simple. It's not. I don't think it's that complicated. You sue the people that's doing it. And when you do that, they can't represent themselves. They can't litigate a case that they're a party to. They can't represent each other from the same law firm. And if you wanted to be asked about it, You can add the State Bar Association, and now none of their friend attorneys can represent them in court either. Bam! That's how you stop foreclosure. That's how you stop a court case. It don't matter what the hell it is. Does not matter what the hell it is. They can't represent themselves. They can't litigate a case too. Okay, and then I would file my real lawsuit in federal court against their asses. And this is check down how you do it. This ain't in the instructional video. I tell people this all the time, and then they get their stuff, they go back to the instructional video. They forget all the words. Okay, you want to do a check down. Once you get them in federal court, serve their asses, have a complete the docket sheet, add as an exhibit, not evidence, because you ain't in a judicial court still. So it's an exhibit to show the why, not what. We want to show the why they're able to violate you. Oh, bam. So now the parties are served. You're in federal court. You got your exhibitable evidence. Evidence. Okay, we'll work on that. Oh, and now you're going to order, demand, ask. I would demand. I don't ask nobody for shit. I don't ask them for shit. I would demand that the federal chief judge order them to the settlement table. Okay? Who's with me? Huh? Who's with me? You order them to the settlement table because they couldn't answer to damn thing that you filed in state court. They still can't because they don't have a bar card. I didn't say federal license. They don't have a bar card. They can't answer to nothing because they don't have a bar card to answer to anything on a federal level. And I haven't had one person tell me that that somebody came up with a federal attorney to challenge them. Okay, because here's the thing. When you go in with the facts, Jack, that's a wrap on that. We don't get to the case law and arguing and all that stupid shit when you go in with the facts, Jack, at the door, at the gate. Facts at the gate, it's a little too late. It's a wrap. We're not arguing. I mean, the judge has been added to their own shit. So the foreclosure, how's it going to go forward? Okay, you not only added them as a counterclaim to their own stuff, they're going to try to ignore it, but then you file your lawsuit over in federal court. And then now they got served. And if you want to be really shitty about it, then you can do what my sister and I did. We added the attorney from the state level. We added his property to the federal filing as damages. And we looked it up. And the LLC, so we added the LLC too. And then we had to serve his wife to counterclaim. Oh, they were really, really mad. They were really, really mad. Oh, they were really mad. And in the end, I took the attorney off and left his wife on. And my sister asked why I did that. And I told her I think maybe that's the empathy. I was feeling sorry for him because he's going to be, bam, getting his face slapped every day when he gets home. Because we added the State Bar Association to her stuff too. So I just let her know that none of his friends, his friends can't help him. He can't help them. And the other attorneys from the State Bar can't help them, him, or her. Well, her, him, or... yeah, we probably have to stop talking about that now too. So, what's up, Coach? Little Ice Jr. Truth and peace. Well, thank you. Those are beautiful hearts. We're about to get out of here now. I got some new friends in Texas, and I don't know if they're here tonight. I hope they're here. That's absolutely, well, actually, Policies, statutes, and codes are not valid laws. I didn't know what the hell to say about an ordinance. That's I don't know what the hell to say about the ordinance, but I would say yes to your. I would say yes to your comment there, but if I was in court, I'd have to have we'd have to. I gotta see definition of ordinance. I know it's not law though, so I'm gonna have to say yeah, that's working pretty good. Oh, I love that. Okay, you know what? When they see you come in acting like you won, I didn't say winning. Come on now. No, come on. I said acting like you won. I mean, at the end of the day, what do you got to lose anyway? But when they see you come in acting like you won, oh, they, yeah. Okay, so they ain't used to champions. Okay, champions are the people that see the beginning, they see the end, and then they're willing to do whatever the hell it takes in the middle. That's the acting like you won part. Okay, because you doing whatever the hell it takes, you might as well act like you won. That's the best you can do, right? Might as well act like you won. Besides, you know you bring the fraud to the table. You see the difference. You seen the difference when you stuck that shit in their face that you got. They start calling you the Mr. N. Okay, never mind. Now they call me a few. I had a dude ask me one time. They wanted to know why it was I was helping the poor. He was old last attorney. He called me a body part head. Yeah. He wanted to know why I was helping the poor. And I was talking to this fool on the internet. We was messaging when he wrote me that shit. I started laughing. I was laughing so hard. My ex-wife came in here to see what the hell was the problem. Well, she's my wife at the time, but she's not now. Oh, he asked me why it was I was helping the poor. I said, now I done some stupid, crazy shit that not smart people do. He's asked me why, so I'm like, okay, I think I can handle that. The last I checked, the rich people didn't need no help, and they was the ones ripping everybody off. And then I asked him if he had a license to practice law. And that was, he didn't want that. And why I'm helping the poor? Wait, the rich people don't need no help. I mean, I'm thinking that they don't need no help. Why I'm helping the poor? I don't know. Maybe he has something there because the poor ain't got no money. Okay, if I had to answer it now, I'd tell him I'm helping the people like me. Those are the people that I wanted to help in the first place. So that's who I'm helping, the people like me. They can put up with me. We can work this out. The goal is to help jumpstart your critical thinking process. You don't have to spend a whole bunch of years. You just have to learn what's on that paper. I'm serious. Learn what's on that paper. You learn what's on that paper when you can say it without looking at that shit. Oh, you're not going to have to worry about them taking anything the wrong way that you say. You're not going to have to worry about them taking anything the wrong way that you say if you learn what's on the paper. Okay, so what am I going to say? What's on the damn paper? I'm not saying a damn word to any of those people that ain't on the paper. Not one word that ain't on the paper. They want to talk about something? Let's talk about the paper. There's plenty on the paper that we need to talk about. People don't realize that you don't have to be in a court setting to have them take your words and shove them back in your face. To have them take your words and figure out that you ain't where you need to be. Sometimes they'll tell you, oh, you can't file that, whatever. Oh, Lord. Oh, my God. Coach gave me this stuff, and I didn't know what the hell. Coach. By the time you call and dag me after you leave the court down the road and you get home, okay, you're going to settle down. You're still a little wound up. I don't even like talking to people the same day. So after you do your research, look that shit up, learn the word. No. But the problem is the smell that you left over there when you start, oh my God, oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. They're like laughing in the back of their head. And then you wonder why they're giving you more shit. Oh, well, now let's go in here acting like, bam, like we won already. Huh? I guess you said go in talking crap like you're black. I don't know, black people used to, I don't know. White people talk crap too, but Oh, makes a difference. Oh, it makes a difference. If you have confidence and you're talking shit, oh, wait, you don't have to talk shit if you know what's on the paper. Mm-hmm. So we're going to see what they got, they told Henry they was coming back. I don't know, the fourth or fifth time. I can't keep up. So now when they come back, well, they're going to deal with this first. Oh, yeah. And we added the sheriff department right to this thing right there. We added the sheriff department right there to it. So now the sheriff department going to have to get somebody else to go and throw him out. And then I added me and Henry on here together for the defamation. Defamation. That when they reported that Henry was in default and all that shit, and when they threw my stuff out, they defended me. So we're just gonna go in and do it that way and see how they want to play, because we I don't roll limitations and I ain't backing up. I don't go sit down. I ain't going nowhere. I'm going down with the ship. We're gonna have a game plan to where the ship ain't going down. Okay, and that's kind of how I roll. If we have to change the game plan, then we'll make the changes. I get frustrated when I talk to people. Oh, well, coach, you said, okay, you know what? Number one, I didn't even want to hear that. So let's try and figure out what is the difference between where you're at and the people that left the video reviews on the video review instructional video review playlist. Okay, let's try and figure out what's the difference between where you're at, what you done, what they something. Because there's it's sad because some people that I've helped have a hard time getting their head out of the conventional system. I've had people tell me, I was like, okay, you got your federal case filed. Did you serve the parties? Well, no, I didn't serve the parties yet because the clerk said I need a case number. But you just said they're coming to your house at any time to throw you out. Well, I need no, dude, serve the parties. You don't need a case number to serve the parties. You can write in there, case number to be determined when they get done stalling me out, so they'll throw my shit out in the yard. And people don't serve the parties. They listen to that. Oh, well, I'm in California, so they do things different here. Oh, I'm sure they do, because to get away with that shit. Now the person telling me, "Oh, well, the judge wouldn't take it under the window." Well, what'd you do about it? Or the clerk? The clerk would not take his pay work and under the window and put it. What'd you do about it? You just left? Did you add the clerk to it? Did you go back and file it electronically? Did you drive over to the next county and file it over there and tell them to email it over to them because you don't have enough gas and you can't make it over there in time? They're going to put out a warrant for your arrest. Did you do? Did you contact the coach and ask for, coach, these are the ideas that I came up with. Do you have any? Or did we just go sit the F down? And then the next time they just said something else. And then we just went and set the F down. And then in the end, we're over here whining and arguing with me when we're trying, Now, so I don't do drama. In this situation, we're still working it out, but we're real close. You got to understand, I got a lot of people in the ring, and I can only take on the emotional amount of stuff from people that I can take. And when I get to the point where I can't take anymore, then I'm going to tell you, I can't help you. And I'm going to hang up. And I'm going to tell you twice. And then I'm going to hang up. And I'm probably going to block you. I'm just saying, I'm probably going to block you. Because I don't work well. People are maxed out, whatever, and people, I call it being disrespectful. That's the way I see it. So, and if you want to coach yourself, that's fine. I don't argue. I don't argue anymore. That's why I got divorced. I'm not arguing anymore. So, if I care about you, I'll spend a little time trying to convince you, but at the end of the day, you're the one that's attorney for your shit. You're going to have to be the one to make the call. And when I tell you that, that's a wrap. Don't call me and ask me no more. Because, bam, you weren't listening to me when I was telling you in the first place, you wouldn't be in the position that you're in. So, I got to get out of here and get some more work done, and I got to take my dog outside. So, hey, let's talk records. I'm glad you can make it better late than never, and you can always watch it again because we got fire in it. Okay, guys, thank you guys for the value of sharing your time, and hope my people get the website up and running tomorrow so everybody can get back to normal over here.